Every 5 seconds, someone in the world becomes blind, trapped in complete darkness for the rest of their lives. According to the WHO, one adult becomes blind every 5 seconds, while one child will lose his or her sight every minute. 66% of these people could have been cured if they had received proper treatment, but 90% of them live in developing countries where access to medical services is beyond their reach. Vision Care Services, a Korean medical volunteer organization, began a program to provide medical care to underprivileged people without access to hospitals. The organization plans to offer free medical care to patients with eye disease in Africa for a week. A shining ray of hope lights up the lives of Africans thanks to the medical expertise of Korean doctors. Last May, the Vision Care Service volunteer team boarded a flight to Africa to provide free medical treatment to the African people. Their destination is Swaziland, which is in the southeastern part of Africa. Mozambique is to the east of Swaziland, while South Africa lies next to the country. So the team of volunteers makes its way to Swaziland via South Africa. After a long, exhausting flight, they finally arrive in Swaziland. They will stay briefly for just 3 days. Therefore, the volunteers immediately head to the local hospital upon arriving, their equipment in tow. Swaziland is a small country with a population of only 1.1 million people. The country possesses such beautiful mountains and scenery that people call it the Switzerland of Africa. Yet the nation has a poor healthcare system, with only one ophthalmologist in the entire country. In such circumstances, most Swazis give up hope of being treated for eye ailments. Some are unaware of such a thing as eye surgery. The volunteer team will treat patients at the Mbabane Government Hospital. Though a government hospital, it does not have any medical equipment for treating patients with eye complications. So all the necessary equipment was brought here from Korea. Some of the medical equipment weighs more than 100 kilograms. The Swazi staff members start moving the equipment before they are asked to help. Dr. Kim Dong-hae is busy like the others. As an ophthalmologist, Dr. Kim is also the founder of Vision Care Service, an organization that helps treat people who live in countries where healthcare is not widely available. Vision Care Service brings together volunteer workers, eye doctors, and nurses to offer free medical care. Through the organization's Free Eye Camp program, volunteers provide free surgery in poor countries where patients will go blind without proper treatment.
안과적으로 도움이 필요한 나라들, 보통 이제 살기 어렵고 힘든 개발도상 국가와 또 안과 의사가 없는 지역에 가서 환자들을 모아서 이제 실명 원인으로 많은 이제 보통 우리가 알고 있기는 실명 원인의 50%가 되는 백내장 수술을 집중적으로 하는 프리 아이 캠프라는 것을 하는 그런 단체입니다.
The free eye camp has saved 3,200 people from going blind in 12 countries. Many Korean corporations give donations to their cause. Quite a few people have already gathered at the hospital after hearing about the volunteer team's visit. Many Swazis became aware of Vision Care service after the free eye camp came to Swaziland last year to cure patients. The volunteers returned to Swaziland due to requests for a second visit and the overwhelming response generated from last year's program. However, the doctor must see a lot of patients in a short amount of time. The team divides the process of diagnosing the patients.
Okay, good.
After the doctor sees a patient, he or she is taken to an optometrist. The optometrist examines cataracts patients by administering an appropriate test for each person. With cataracts being the main cause of blindness, the eye examination is crucial. After cataracts patients are identified, the volunteers drop a solution into the patient's eyes to expand their pupils, which makes it easier to perform cataract surgery. Patients who do not require eye surgery are given appropriate eye droplets for their condition. Though it is awkward for both the volunteer and patient, the volunteer keeps smiling.
육체적으로는 좀 힘들긴 한데요. 많은 보람을 느낍니다. 제가 언제 이런 일을 해보겠나 싶고요. 이 환자분들 보니까 제가 열정을 느끼게 하고 그래서 오랜만에 제가 열정을 가지고 일을 해본 것 같습니다.
Vision Care Services' visit is newsworthy for the Swaziland press. The TV crew airs stories about the organization to show their gratitude and inform Swazis of the free eye treatments.
The escalating numbers of Swazis affected by eye diseases is seemingly increasing each year, because if you could compare last year, which is 2007, and this year, you could simply tell that a lot of Swazis are sick out there, and we are very much grateful to the Korean doctors for having come to Swaziland to rescue the Swazi nation.
The number of eye ailments has dramatically increased among the Swazi population, but there are no eye clinics in the country. People who need emergency eye surgery are taken to South African hospitals. But because it is an expensive option, those who can't afford it have no chance of receiving any treatment.
It does a lot. Yes. More especially because when you come, you operate on the patients who would otherwise have to refer out of the country. So it's really quite helpful. I mean, right now, I don't know how many patients we've already booked for surgery. So those patients were going to be stranded. They would have to be referred to Pikes Peak or out of Swaziland because we don't have an ophthalmologist right now. So this is really very helpful, and we are thankful for that.
Eight-year-old Sponiso has come to see the doctor. Last month, Sponiso hurt his right eye and has been waiting anxiously for the team of Korean volunteers to arrive.
Kusho ukuthi sedamhla ka-22 la sibhedlela nasifika ke kwabonakala ukuthi aliboni wasesimela dokotela ukuthi atomcheka wamcheka sesikuyavakala ke ukuthi bayeda sesiyabamela bathi asibamele siva ngabonesi.
Fortunately, Sponiso will get a second chance to receive treatment for his eye. First, the eye must be examined.
다른 백내장 애기들과는 좀 달리 이 애기는 외상성 백내장이라서 수술 후에도 다른 분들처럼 아주 깨끗하게 안 보일 수 있어요. 왜냐면 상처가 각막에 있기 때문에 각막에 혼탁된 상처는 지워지지는 않거든요. 꼭 우리 살에다가 상처 난 것처럼 각막에 상처가 있기 때문에 이 속에 있는 백내장을 제거를 해도 수술 후에 지금보다는 훨씬 잘 보이겠지만 이렇게 조금 불편한 정도는 있을 거예요. 그래서 훨씬 지금보다 살아가는 데 훨씬 좋겠죠, 이 친구한테는요.
Sponiso wishes to see and do many things. After hearing he can regain his sight through free surgery, he is glad he waited for the medical volunteer group to arrive instead of going back home. Meanwhile, an operation was taking place at a brisk pace in the operating room. At this camp, Dr. Kim Dong-hye is the only doctor on hand who can perform eye surgeries. Though he bears the burden of operating on many patients alone, Dr. Kim maintains his concentration throughout the day because the patients depend on him to transform their lives. The cataract surgery is performed with an ultrasonic machine. A tiny incision is made on the cornea, whereupon clouding in the lens is removed by ultrasonic pulses. Afterwards, an artificial lens is inserted in the eye. The procedure is relatively simple and has a high success rate. The next operation starts right away without any short break. Dr. Kim cannot lose his focus. The medical staff is responsible for assisting the doctor and calming patients' nerves. The doctor, nurses, and assistants approach every surgery with the intention of curing the patient. Meanwhile, we met a girl awaiting surgery through the help of a Korean living in the country. Her name is Norton Dulamin, and she is 15 years old. Born with congenital cataracts, she began to lose her sight at the age of 5. Today, she is unable to live a normal life. Norton has been blind for 10 years. She cautiously gropes her way along the wall, hoping to soon regain her sight. The line of patients has grown longer than the day before. The administrators are overwhelmed with patients seeking treatment. But as the saying goes, haste makes waste. So the volunteers offer a special service for the patients waiting. There are many smiling faces in the photos. They treasure this small gift. Their radiant faces make the volunteers happy as well.
자기 사진을 아마 본 지 굉장히 오래되는 것 같아요. 그래서 이렇게 하나 프린트 해주면 너무너무 좋아하십니다. 그리고 자기 아름다운 모습을 자기 눈으로 다시 볼 수 있다는 게 이분들에게 좋은 것 같습니다.
volunteers take care of the recuperating patients.
어떻게 지금 하시는 게 무슨 일을 하신 거예요?
어제 수술하신 분이신데요. 오늘 다시 한번 어저께 수술한 거 잘 됐는지 체크업하러 오신 거거든요. 그래서 제가 안대 다시 떼드리고 다시 또 여기 소독해드리는 그런 지원을 하고 있습니다.
그 한국 시스템에 배워주지 않으셨을 텐데 여기 와서 이렇게 하시니까 어떠세요?
글쎄 뭐라고 말씀드릴 수 없는데 마치 제가 지금 의료인은 아닌데 의료인인 것처럼 하는 일이라서 굉장히 조심스럽고 걱정되고 좀 그런 부분이 있는데 어저께 안 보이셨다가 오늘 막 보이신다고 하시니까 제가 너무 막 기분이 좋고 그러네요.
The elderly lady looks straight at the volunteer and smiles. The volunteer smiles back at her, sharing the moment of joy.
I promise you to make a party for you guys. So where am I going to now?
The volunteers tend to the patients when they're happy, as well as allay their fears when they're worried.
수술하기 전에 할머님이 좀 불안하신가 봐요. 그래서 이렇게 손을 잡아서 안정을 좀 취하게끔 하고 있습니다. 네.
The volunteer tends to the elderly lady like a caring granddaughter would. The lady seems to have calmed down. As the number of patients increases, the optometrist seeks out the waiting patients and begins to screen them for cataracts. Because it is crucial to perform as many cataract operations as possible, critical patients are sent to the front of the line.
제일 먼저 가세요.
In times like this, the optometrist wishes she had another set of hands to see more patients. The sound of a crying baby becomes a distraction. The baby's eyes cannot be cured because he has AIDS.
이 근처에는 보니까 에이즈 환자분들이 굉장히 많고요. 눈을 침범한 경우가 많아서 어떻게 해줄 수 없는 경우가 너무 많았습니다. 돌려보낼 만한 병원도 없습니다. 그냥 뭐 내과로 가라 아니면 남아공으로 가라 그러는데 여기 있는 간호사도 굉장히 안타까워하더라고요.
Meanwhile, back in the operating room, everyone is busy as patients wait in line for their operations. But Dr. Kim tenses up during one procedure. The patient has a severe case of cataracts, and the emulsifier cannot remove the lens. The cataracts have reached the point where they have made the lens as hard as rock. Dr. Kim has only one option. He must slit open the cornea to forcibly remove the lens. The lens is extracted from the eye at last. This tiny lens is the main culprit of impaired eyesight.
우리나라에 이제 이런 백내장이 별로 없고 이렇게 수술 잘 안 하는데 이제 이분은 너무 오래돼 갖고 백내장이 이게 기계로다가 뺄 수가 없어요. 그래서 이런 백내장은 그냥 눈을 통째로 열고 수정체로 통째로 드러낸 겁니다. 이런데 나오면은 이런 백내장이 많이 있죠. 그 정도 될 때쯤 되면은 뭐 진짜 아무것도 안 보이는 거죠. 이게 이렇게 제거하는 것만으로도 보이는 게 훨씬 납니다. 여기다가 이제 수정체까지 집어넣으면은 훨씬 좋죠.
The old man can see again. With help from the volunteers, Sponiso gets ready for his operation.
Okay. 고감이네.
Sponiso calmly follows the volunteer's instructions, displaying a maturity beyond his years.
됐지.
Unlike the adults, Sponiso undergoes general anesthesia because of his young age. Sponiso lost sight in one eye due to an accident. Sponiso will be able to play with his friends and return to life as it used to be after this operation. Norton Dulamin was admitted to the hospital in the morning and waits in a line leading to the operating room. Norton Dulamin trembles from the cold.
아카하다. 지금 춥다고.
The anesthesia is making her feel chilly. Sponiso's operation is over. The anesthetics have not completely worn off yet, but the surgery is a success. Norton Dulamin is up next and enters the operating room. She is gripped by fear. It's Norton Dulamin's turn for surgery. For 10 years, she has lived in darkness and is now eager to regain her sight. Many Swazis have been cured of blindness and can see again. After bidding goodbye to their new friends, they head to Mozambique, the second destination of their volunteer mission. The team of volunteers must adapt to a new environment, and the number of patients keeps rising. The ongoing story of caring people who help others regain sight continues in the next episode.